Welcome to EPG Patsala. I am Silla Tirupati. I will be talking about ports of East Coast of India under the paper Economic History of India. You know that we had several ports of India, and in this module we will learn that how the ports of East Coast of India, particularly in ancient times, played a major role, and with the ports we had trade contracts with other countries surrounding the maritime contracts with the ports of adjoining area, that is with Southeast Asia and all those other countries, and these ports provides information as about the trade as well as cultural contracts with other foreign countries. Along the east coast of India, there were a number of ports which came into light in different periods of history. And since early historical period, there were ports in West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Odisha coast. As we know that the ports of Bengal, for instance, Tamaralipti, Chandraketugad, Panduraj Devi, Sonargaon, Satgaon, all these ports were existed in the early historical period, and they had contracts both with the interland trade as well as the external trade. Tamaralipti was a Dronimukha type of port which was located at the confluence of sea and the river, and this Tamaralipti has been referred by Ptolemy, Phaya in Huangsang, and it is mentioned that there were regular sailing of vessels from Tamaralipti to Burma, and they were crossing the Bay of Bengal, and they were making a direct voyage to Malaysia and other parts of Southeast Asia. Even they were going to East Indies and beyond the region. Now, as you know that during rule of Ashoka's son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra has gone to Sri Lanka with a branch of Bodhi tree, and they had sailed from Tamaralipti as it is known from the Ashokan period documents. But before that we should know that Tamaralipti was a port. That's what Ashoka sent his son and daughter to Sri Lanka. If Tamaralipti came to light during Ashokan's times, I don't think that it was possible for them, being it was a port before Ashoka. So that's what Ashoka has sent to his son and daughter to Tamaralipti with a branch of Bodhi tree. The archaeological excavations at Tamaralipti has brought to light terracotta figurines of Sunga period as well as copper coins, and more importantly the excavations of Tamaralipti has yielded rollated ware, sprinkles, and which shows particularly the sprinkles shows that contracts with other countries, and the archaeological stratigraphy from the archaeological excavations we can get some structural remains, that is a stepped tank which is 2nd, 3rd century AD. The other port of Tamaralipti is known as Chandraketugad. Okay. It was also a flourishing port of West Bengal during 1st century to 4th century AD, and Chandraketugad was located or situated on the river bank of Vidyadhari, and Chandraketugad has a earthen fortification, and Ptolemy has referred to Chandraketugad as Gange. The archaeological excavations of Chandraketugad was carried out by Asutosh Museum, Calcutta, and during excavations there they have found NBP, graveware, semi-precious stone beads, punchmark coins, and punchmark coins with boat motifs. This is the first instance in India where we have found punchmark coins with boat motifs. The other findings from Chandraketugad was paddy storage wooden structures those were wooden boxes. That is one of the important findings. Moreover, we have found related ware, semi-precious stone beads, and terracotta figurines of Shunga, Kushan, and Gupta period. Panchmar coins, Kushan coins, Gupta coins also has been found from Chandraketugad excavations, and brick temples of later period. And the semi-precious stone beads as well as which were found in Chandraketugad, those were resembling with the stone beads of Bantapet of Thailand. Okay. Similarly, it appears that probably the beads of Chandraketugad had gone. I mean, the people of Chandraketugad, the mariners of Chandraketugad, probably dealing with the semi-precious stone beads, and they had contacts with Thailand. Okay, and then similarly, there is another important finding is lead ingots has been found in Chandraketugad, and similar lead ingots has been found from Karbi province of Thailand. The findings of Chandraketugad clearly suggest that it was a port and as well as urban settlement which was flourishing from 4th century BC to Gupta period. You can see in the slides the lead ingots as well as the structural remains of Chandraketugad. Moreover, from West Bengal, we have found lot of Brahmi and Kharosthi inscriptions datable to 1st to 5th century AD. From those inscriptions are found on pots, seals and ceilings from Chandraketugad, Tamralipti, Bangad and other sites, and it shows these, I mean the decipherment of these inscriptions shows that there was a contact between ports of West Bengal or these sites of West Bengal with the northwest region of India, and these people were involved in horse trade and corn trade, and the horses of northwestern region people were bringing, that is North Central Asian people were bringing to Bengal on the land route, and they were crossing Mathura and all those places. Then from Bengal, these horses and other local products were sent to South Asia and other ports of Southeast Asia. The inscriptions what has been found in West Bengal, that is Kharosthi and Brahmi inscriptions. Similar Brahmi inscriptions has been found in Orissa, that is in Manikapattanam and Radhanagar, and moreover in outside of India, that is in Thailand, Vietnam and Bali. And it shows that the script, the language has gone along with these mariners to Southeast Asia, and whereas these are the early historical evidences of horse trade with Southeast Asia. And the kind of ships were used in the Chandraketugad seal, the inscription reads as Trayapaka, that means a family dealing with maritime trade, and these Trayapaka kind of boats has been referred by Periplus. So the seal has a legend in Kharosthi Brahmi script referring to 3 days yatra. That means voyage to 3 countries, or it could be also voyage to in different directions. So you can look at the screen in the terracotta, those terracotta seals and ceilings. In the first one in the screen, a boat with a small horse. So that shows that horses were transported on the boat. And another one, see, on a terracotta boat there is a horse figurine, and different kind of other boats with Brahmi and Kharosthi inscriptions. So it is clearly gives us the information that during early historical period, these are the evidences of maritime trade with India, South Asia and Southeast Asia. And in the again on the screen you can see Panchmar coins where there are the depiction of boats. As I told you that in the post-Gupta period in Bengal, there were a number of temples where there is a depiction of boats. Okay, the boats, you will find terracotta temples in Bishnupur and in Radhakantapur and Prahladapur in different districts. Okay, so these shows in 6th, 7th century AD, there were, the people of Bengal were also, involved in maritime trade. In addition to maritime trade, these boats also depicts naval warfare and other aspects of maritime trade. And after Bengal, now we will see the ports of Orissa. Orissa is also located on the east coast of India, as you know very well. And like Bengal, Orissa had several ports. And in early historical ports, if we will see, the ports of Orissa were located on the southern side and on the southern Orissa, and among the ports of southern Orissa, Manikapatna and Palluru very important. Later period, Calcutta Patna and Radhanagar, but the important part of Radhanagar, that the site is located surrounded by the Buddhist sites. In later period, we have the ports of Orissa which were located in northern Orissa. Those were Baleshwar, Pipili and Dhamra. But in early historical period, Periplus has referred to the ports of Orissa. Among others, the important is Dosaruni, probably Dhauli. Similarly, Ptolemy is also referred a number of ports, that is Nanigam, Katikardam, Kanagar, and Dosarun, and Adams, and all those things. Among the ports referred by Ptolemy, some it is, has been identified, and scholars have worked on it, but some ports has not been identified, where more, systematic explorations and excavations are required. And similarly, though Ptolemy has mentioned the ports of Orissa, but interestingly, he has not referred the port of Palluru, Chelitaro, and Manikapatna. See, Manikapatna was a port of early historical period on the bank of Chilika. Similarly, the 10th century AD text Brahmanda Purana mentions Chilika as a port, and the ships were sailing from Chilika to Java, Malaysia, Shillong, and there were number of ships. The Purana refers number of ships and types of ships. Similarly, literary and archaeological sources suggest that in addition to Manikapatna and Pallur, there were other ports of Orissa called Dantapura, Chelitalo, Kalingapatnam, and Pithunda. Pithunda port has been referred in the inscriptions of Kharavela. Okay. And coming to inland ports, which were also important habitational sites. See, among them is Shishpalgarh. The excavations of Shishpalgarh, that is very close to Bhubaneswar, has brought to light, in the earlier excavations has brought to light evidences of 3rd century BC to 4th century AD. But the recent excavations carried out by Deccan College, Professor Ravi Mahanti and his colleagues, now the date is going back to 5th century to 6th century BC to 4th, 5th century AD. So Shishpalgarh is a site which gives the evidences of 6th century BC to 5th century AD. Okay, and that means the ports and trade centers of Orissa are now datable to 5th, 6th century BC, and the excavations of Shishpalgarh has brought to light rollated ware, knobbed ware, as well as your Roman caltraps and your clay bullets. Rollated ware, almost India, in different parts of India, not only on the port sites, in hinterland site, in trade centers, this pottery has been found. Similarly, knobbed pottery has been found all over east coast of India, and very limited sites where knobbed ware has been found in the west coast of India. And there is another site, as I was talking to you earlier, that Radhanagar. Radhanagar is a site, it is a habitational site and surrounded by lot of Buddhist settlements, that is Lalitgiri, Ratnagiri, Langudi and all those sites. And the excavations of Radhanagar has yielded again rollated ware. This is the general view of Radhanagar, where Orison Institute of Maritime Studies has carried out the excavations, and during their excavations they have found evidences of early historical period, that is they have found rollated ware, knobbed ware and other pottery as well as molded pottery and pottery having designs. Now the other port site is Manikapatna, is located on the bank of Chilika. Okay? As I told you in 10th century references that they have referred Chilika was a port, but Manikapatna on the bank of Chilika, the archaeological excavations has brought to light Kharosthi inscriptions you can see on the screen, and stone moldings, different kind of pottery, rollated ware and terracotta beads, Indonesian images, that images includes bronze and terracotta figurines of Indonesia. More interestingly, what we noticed at Manikapatna, there are number of terracotta bells. These terracotta bells submerges during high tide and exposes during low tide. That means when the site was in operation, that means when Manikapatna was a port, the lake was away from the site and these terracotta rings were usable. Now because of geological factors, the site, I mean these terracotta wells are under the waters of Chilika Lake. Okay, so it shows that how the geological factors have played a major role in the declining of maritime trade. Yeah, and Manikapatna excavations has brought to light evidences from early historical period to 13th-14th century AD, because we have found Sri Lankan coins, Chola period coins, Chinese coins as well as Chinese ceramic shards. These Chinese coins and Chinese ceramics are of later period, and your Chola coins is of 10th 11th century. And as I told you that in Manikapatna we have found rollated ware and knobbed ware. These are of early historical period. So based on these findings we can say Manikapatna was a port which was continued from early historical to a medieval period. Another important port of Orissa was Khalkatapatna. This is very close to Konark, the UNESCO monument Konark temple. Khalkatapatna is on the bank of river Kushabhadra, and another interesting aspect of Khalkatapatna is that only one dynasty, that is Ganga dynasty evidence has been found at Khalkatapatna. Another interesting aspect you can look at Khalkatapatna, see the remains of the port is on the bank of the river, and during a high tide the river, because of the river activities or river action, these archaeological remains are going into the river and slowly these are disappearing, and there is a major because of the river we have noticed that the remains of the port is going into the river. This is because of the river erosion. And similarly, the excavations at Khalkatapatna, which was conducted by Archaeological Survey of India, brought to light Chinese coins, Chinese Siladen ware as well as Chinese ceramics. But during our recent explorations, we noticed that the stamped pottery, as well as mercury jars. These mercury jars and stamped pottery belongs to Southeast Asia. In 13th century, 14th century, these mercury jars were coming to India, and these stamped ware, similar kind of stamped pottery has been reported from Mattupalli and Kottapattanam of Andhra Pradesh. And on the walls of Konark, you can see there are images of giraffe along with Arab merchants, and that shows that Calcutta Patna during Ganga period was a port, and the Arab traders were coming to Calcutta Patna. So it is evidence of art and sculpture in the maritime trade. And now we should see who were the traders and who were involved in this trading. Coming to Orissa or east coast of India, you will see there will, along with the port sites, there were a number of Buddhist sites. Here on the screen you can see the Buddhist map of India. Along the port sites, you will see Buddhist settlements also. See, as I told you, Radhanagar, very close to Radhanagar, there is a Udayagiri, Lalitgiri, Ratnagiri and Langudi. And Lalitgiri, Udayagiri, Ratnagiri excavations has brought to light evidences from 3rd century BC to 9th century BC, 9th 10th century AD. Okay. Similarly, Langudi, the monolithic stupas, which are resembling with your Sankaram of Visakhapatnam area, very close to Visakhapatnam, there is a Buddhist site in Andhra coast, Sankaram. There also you will find number of monolithic stupas. So, Langudi also you will find in Orissa number of monolithic stupas. So, probably the people were exchanging their ideas, and on the screen also you can notice the Ashokan inscription Dhauli, where a elephant is emerging from a rock. So, these were the Buddhist evidences which were associated with these Buddhist evidences, and the Buddhist mariners were associated with maritime trade. And more importantly, the Buddha images of Ratnagiri and Buddha images of Borobudur in Indonesia are resembling. You can have a look at the screen. See the Buddha images, their curly hairstyle of Ratnagiri is resembling with the Borobudur Buddha. Similarly, the Bhumisparsha Mudra of Ratnagiri image is resembling with Borobudur Buddha image. And if we look into the trade routes, see there were 3 trade routes starting from Tamaralipti to Tamil Nadu. So, different season these mariners were taking different routes, and based on their requirement, on their demand of cargo, they were following these routes. And another thing, there is a shipwreck in Belitung shipwreck. The archaeological findings of that shipwreck shows they were following the same route which is resembling with our trade routes of ancient India. And from the traders of Orissa, they were going to Java, Sumatra and Bali, and because of the demand of spices, there were a number of, the contact was more cordial between Orissa and Southeast Asia. Even Periplus and Indian text mention about sandalwood and clove which were coming from Southeast Asia. And now we will see how the ports of Andhra Pradesh has played a role in the maritime trade of east coast of India. The ports of Andhra Pradesh, Kalingapattanam and your Pithunda and Narsapur, there were a number of ports in Andhra Pradesh, and in different periods of history these ports have played a major role. For instance, Kalingapattanam and your Dantapura and your Pithunda were the early historical period ports. But the other trade centers of Andhra coast during early historical period were Tottalkonda, Bhavikonda and Bimlipatnam. See, the early historical period, Buddhist sites were there, Buddhist settlements were there. It is very interesting to tell you that when you will visit to the Tottalkonda and Bhavikonda sites, you can see those were located on the hillock, and from the hillock you can see the sea. Okay, probably those were served as a, something kind of a lighthouse, and probably the mariners were following these sites during their navigation. And the long coastline of Andhra Pradesh is having a long maritime history. As I told you, Kalingapatnam, it was located on the river of Vanshadhara, and the archaeological excavations of Kalingapatnam has brought to light rollated ware, red sleeved ware, Gupta period terracotta art, terracotta figurines and gold coins, and there is a stupa which is datable to early historical period, and there are settlement sites. See, now look at the screen, there are different kind of pottery. During our explorations we had found, along with your saddle coin and stone pedestals, okay, and sprinklers, so many things. And the other port of Andhra Pradesh was Dantapura, that is also located on the bank of river Vanshadhara. And during archaeological excavations of Dantapura, which was done by Department of Archaeology of Andhra Pradesh, there they have found NBP, rollated ware, knobbed pottery and stupas, which were made of, brick stupas, okay, and red sleeved jar. And these pottery of Dantapura shows of earlier to Kalingapatnam, and between Kalingapatnam and Kalingapatnam and Dantapura, the another important site is Salihundam. On the hillock of the Salihundam, you can see number of Buddhist stupas, brick stupas and monasteries and viharas, and during excavations, their Panchmar coins, Puri Kusana coins, Roman coins has been found, and on the pot sets they have found Brahmi inscriptions, and among other potteries, rollated ware and red polished ware also found, and two inscriptions were found in this on a conch shell, which is written that Shila Patak, that means which probably the ancient name of Salihundam, and the findings of Salihundam are resembling with the findings of Arikamedu, Nagarjunakonda and Shishpalagad, even to some extent of Hastinapur, and some of the images of Salihundam is resembling with Gandhara features. Now see, when we came to know from these archaeological findings as well as the port sites how Buddhism has played a role in the maritime trade of Orissa, similarly we are having the evidences of Buddhism which had played a major role in the maritime trade of Andhra Pradesh. Here we cannot distinguish maritime trade of Andhra Pradesh or Odisha or Tamil Nadu. See, there were ports, and Buddhism has played a major role in all these places. Okay? So wherever there is a port, there is a Buddhist settlement. Most frequently we have noticed, you can see on the screen the Buddhist stupas of Dantapura, and again the brick stupa at Kalingapatnam, and your Bhavikonda, Tatlakonda, Salihundam, and as I was telling you that the Sankaram site, monolithic stupas, here you can see at the screen the Sankaram stupas, even the Buddhist images. There are some caves, and very close to Sankaram there is a place called Kottur, probably it has been referred by Ptolemy, and there are Buddhist stupas as well as Buddhist caves. And the other important ports of Andhra Pradesh were Dharanikota on the bank of river Krishna, and interestingly, Dharanikota is, you know, that quite away from the seashore, around 34 kilometers probably away from the seashore, and the excavations has brought to light, and in the inlet of the river Krishna where ships were plying, and a wooden wharf has been found which is made of wood, wooden wharf, and the excavations of Dharanikota has brought to light and northern block polished pottery, Aritine ware, roulated ware, some amphora pot sets, and pot sets with Brahmi inscriptions. As I was telling you that the navigation channel of river Krishna is 5 meters depth, and there 20 to 25 meter width channel is there which was connecting to river Krishna. And the excavations, in addition to all those things, we have found knobbed pottery and northern black polished pottery, and you can see on the screen. And you see again on the screen, you see the post holes of the wharf of Dharanikota and the rock cut channel and the occupational remains of Dharanikota. And the other port of Andhra Pradesh was Kottapattanam, and Ptolemy has referred as Kotis. And this port was also equally important like Dharanikota and other ports of Andhra Pradesh. And the explorations has brought to light rouleted ware, Roman glass pieces, stamped pottery, porcelain, Chinese ceramics, and Chinese celadon ware, and Chinese coins. See, Kottapattanam was a port from early historical period up to Vijayanagaram period, because Vijayanagaram coins has been found, and on the screen you can see roulated pottery and other kind of pottery found at Kottapattanam, and Chinese coin. Most importantly, recently during our exploration, we have found a stone anchor, which is the first stone anchor so far has been reported or found in Andhra Pradesh. So, and the other port is also Mottupalli, which was a port because according to the archaeological evidences as well as the inscriptional evidences, Mottupalli was a medieval port. But recent explorations has brought to light roulated pottery and stamped ware, which is datable to 2nd century BC. And these recent archaeological studies of Mottupalli has provided information on the maritime contacts of Mottupalli with Southeast Asia and China. You can see on the screen the Mottupalli pillar inscription and different kind of potteries and habitational remains, that is a terracotta ring bell, and the excavations carried out by Department of Archaeology of Andhra Pradesh. So from these findings, it shows clearly that Mottupalli has played an important role in the maritime history of Andhra Pradesh. Coming to the ports of Tamil Nadu, again, Mahabalipuram, Arikamedu, Pumpuha, Trankobar, and all other ports of Tamil Nadu has played a major role. Among other ports of Tamil Nadu, Arikamedu is a very important port. We are having the evidences of direct Roman contact, and Arikamedu was there was a Roman settlement, and Arikamedu excavations has played a key role to study the Roman contacts of India with Red Sea coast. During our recent explorations at Arikamedu, we have found a number of roulated ware, micro beads, semi-precious stone beads, micro beads, and we have found a Ganesh image. And when these images, because one more image was found during Villar's excavation, which has been kept in the Pondicherry Museum, but similar kind of Ganesh images has been found in Southeast Asia, particularly in Jambi area of Indonesia. And in addition to these findings, we have found brick structures on the bank of river Aranyakupam. And earlier, during Villar's excavation, the antiquity of Arikamedu was datable to 1st century AD, but the excavations carried out by Bimala Begle and others, it clearly suggests that Arikamedu was a port during 3rd century BC to later period. Coming back to other port, that is Pumpuhar, it was also a Sangam period port. The Department Archaeological Scholar Survey of India has excavated where Buddhist establishments has been found at Palameneswaram and other sites. In addition to these Buddhist establishments, the excavations has brought to light brick wharfs. Along with in those wharfs, there were wooden remains were there. Based on those archaeological findings, because Pumpuhar has been very, in detailed way mentioned in the Sangam text, which are datable to 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD. So based on these evidences, the Department of Archaeology, Government of Tamil Nadu funded given a project to NIO, that CSR NIO Goa, to undertake explorations, and during our explorations we have also found number of structures along the bank, along the coastal Pumpuhar, where we have found terracotta ring bells and brick structures. And some of the structures were submerging during high tide, and those structures you can see on the screen, which during low tide those have exposed. And coming to another important port is Mahabalipuram, which was a Pallava period port and flourished during 17th century AD. And the Tamil text Kadal Malai mentions that ships bringing precious goods and coming to Mahabalipuram, and to beautify the port city, that is Mahabalipuram, which was the capital of probably of the Pallava dynasties, they had constructed number of temples, and even one of the temple of Mahabalipuram had served as a lighthouse. And during our Mahabalipuram lost its importance, and the port itself lost its importance, because when the Cholas came to power in Tanjore and other area. And you can see that in Mahabalipuram on the screen, you can see that during our explorations we have found some stone structures in underwater of Mahabalipuram, but lot of work is required to confirm whether these are the remains of the temple or not. It is very early to tell whether these are belonging to temples. Okay, but we have to work a number of analysis we have to do, a number of studies we have to carry out. Coming to the again Mahabalipuram, in the screen you can see that early period lighthouse, and a 2nd century text of Tamil Nadu mentions that there was a brick tower and which was guiding the ships. Okay, and when and recently the modern lighthouse has come very close to that temple of Mahabalipuram. And there is another site, port site of Tamil Nadu was Alagankulam. It was also equally important like our Arikamedu and Mahabalipuram. And this was a Roman port datable to 3rd, 4th century AD, and Roman ships were coming with wine, amphoras and other goods. and the excavations of Alangankulam has brought to light amphora and your rollated bear, Aritain bear, and it you know that the Alagankulam site is away from the sea, and the river Baigai, the ships were going around quite a distance from the seashore. So that means there the river navigation system was there, and even Sri Lanka was easily accessible or reachable from Alagankulam. And again, here, as I told in my previously I told you that Buddhism has played a major role in the maritime trade. Here we are also having evidences of Buddhism in Tamil Nadu. But interestingly, one thing I will tell you here, that in Tamil Nadu, so far we have not found any Buddhist stupas like in Orissa and Andhra Pradesh, okay, but we have found a number of Buddha images, not only in Tamil Nadu, even present day Pondicherry also, okay, and another, the port of Tamil Nadu was Korkai. It was a Pandyan kingdom, and it has been mentioned by Ptolemy as a Kolchi, and it was a pearl fishing harbor, and even till today, people of this region, they go for pearl fishing, and this was a Sangam period port. Because of geological factors or shoreline changes, now the present Korkai is probably 5 kilometers away from the seashore. Okay, once upon a time, Korkai was on the seashore, now it is 5 kilometers away. The other ports of Tamil Nadu were Kayal and Tondi, and these ports were also played an important role. And overall, if we will see in the summary of this my lecture, I can tell you that the ports of east coast of India played a major role in the, both in the exporting and importing of cargo, as well as contacts with Southeast Asia and Roman countries. And because of various regions, change of dynasties, economic condition of the country, as well as shoreline changes or other geological factors, because of these regions, the ports of east coast of India, some of the ports of the east coast of India declined, but ports declined. In the same place, another port came to limelight. Ports came, but maritime trade didn't decline, but ports declined, maritime trade continued. Thank you very much.